The ocean was calm that morning. Waves rolled gently over the Pacific, but far beneath the surface. Something strange waited in silence. Dr. Lena Hart, a marine scientist, leaned over the console of her deep-sea scanning rig, her brow furrowed. As the sonar image formed on the screen, at first it looked like a natural rock formation, but then clean lines, symmetrical shape, no coral, no barnacles, and definitely not natural. "Get the others," Lena said quietly now. Within minutes, the small research vessel Neptune's Eye was full of whispers and rushing footsteps. Scientists from multiple countries had gathered here for a joint expedition, looking for rare geothermal vents, but this was no vent. It was a structure. It was buried deep beneath layers of mud, around 6,000 meters below. Dr. Jonas Kim, the team's geologist, tapped the screen. "This part here, metal, solid. Look at the density readings. Could be an old submarine," one tech suggested. Lena shook her head. "No, it's too big. The design is strange." The shape on the screen was smooth and curved, almost organic, like something grown, not built. They launched the drone. The deep-sea exploration drone, nicknamed Hermes, began its slow descent. It would take hours to reach the site. Meanwhile, the team above gathered every bit of data they could, sending sonar pings, analyzing sediment, measuring electromagnetic interference. And that's when something even stranger happened. "All instruments are spiking," said Annika, their systems operator. "We're getting interference from the bottom, but there's no signal source." "Could it be live?" someone whispered. Lena didn't answer. She stared at the live feed from Hermes as it drifted down into the black abyss. The lights on the drone pierced the darkness. Fish scattered. The pressure at that depth would crush any human body instantly. Then the drone stopped. It had reached the ocean floor. Everyone leaned in. Silence filled the control room, and then the object came into view. It was massive, nearly 300 meters across, shaped like a smooth silver crescent. The mud around it was undisturbed, like it had been placed there, not crashed. No rust, no decay, just clean, seamless metal. And in the center and entrance, a door is that. "A ship," Annika said, her voice barely above a whisper. Lena stared at it, her heart pounding. "Not one we made." Hermes approached the door. A set of symbols glowed faintly on its surface, too alien to understand. And then, without warning, the door opened. A cloud of black water rushed out as pressure equalized. Inside, lights flickered on dime, blue-white. The drone's camera adjusted and moved forward slowly. "Are we recording this?" Dr. Kim asked. "Everything," Annika replied. "Every second." Inside, the ship looked like a mixture of machine and biology. Walls pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. Tubes ran along the ceiling like veins. It didn't look abandoned. It looked dormant, sleeping. Then something moved. The team froze. A faint shadow crossed the camera's view. Not fast, just passing by, a shape roughly the size of a human, but walking strangely. Its limbs moved too smoothly, too perfectly. "Back." "The drone out," Lena said quickly. But Hermes wasn't responding. The feed glitched, crackled, and then cleared again. The drone continued forward on its own. It was being pulled guided deeper into the ship. "I've lost control," Annika said. "Something's overriding the signal. Cut the tether," someone shouted. Too late, the drone passed into a chamber. The lights here were brighter. In the center of the room was a strange pod. Transparent, inside it floated something humanoid. It wasn't alive, but it wasn't dead either. Its body was perfectly preserved. Grayish-blue skin, no eyes, thin, elongated limbs. Symbols were carved into its chest and arms. Symbols that now started glowing. Lena leaned in, her hands shaking. "Is that ... a body?" "It's in stasis," Kim said. "That's a containment pod." As they watched, the pod cracked. A long fracture line appeared down the middle. Gas hissed out. Then the feed went black. Total silence. No signal. The control room erupted into chaos. Nika was yelling into the comms. Others checked systems. Lena just stood there, staring at the now-dead screen. Something was waking up. Something that had slept for centuries beneath the sea, and it didn't want to stay hidden anymore. Hours passed, with Hermes lost. The team had no visuals. Lena debated ending the mission, but her curiosity burned too strong. They launched a second drone, a smaller backup model. It wouldn't go as deep, but maybe it could give them another glimpse. As the new drone descended, Lena reviewed the last seconds of the original footage. She zoomed in on the alien body. Something strange stood out now that she looked closer. There was a mark on the creature's arm. It wasn't alien, it was a human. Its military logo, old, from Earth's first orbital. Defense Force. How is that possible? She whispered. They hadn't left Earth's orbit back when those logos were used, and this ship was older than their oldest submarines. This isn't a discovery, she muttered. It's a cover-up. A secret buried deep. On purpose, the alien ship wasn't just a visitor. It had been hidden, sealed, and maybe, just maybe, it was never meant to be found. The new drone reached halfway before the signal began to flicker. Static grew louder then. One clear word came through the speakers. In English. Help. Everyone went still. Who said that? Annika asked. It came from the deep, Lena said, voice flat. From inside that ship, and it spoke their language. The word echoed through the control room like thunder in silence. Help. One word spoken in English. From 6,000 meters below the sea, from inside a ship that no human had ever entered, Dr. Lena Hart sat frozen, eyes locked on the speaker. Can you replay that? Annika tapped a few keys. Static filled the air, followed by a deep, calm voice. Help. It wasn't robotic. It wasn't a glitch. It sounded human, but also not. There was something strange about the tone, too smooth, too perfect. Like a machine imitating a person. Could this be a distress beacon? Jonas Kim asked. No distress beacon would speak perfect English after being buried for who knows. How long? Lena said. They all looked at the sonar screen. The second drone was still descending, halfway to the alien ship. Its camera feed was grainy, shaking with the pressure currents, but the object was there, unmoving, waiting. What? If it's a trap? Someone whispered. Or a warning, Lena muttered. Still, the team pushed forward. Curiosity won over fear. They had come this far. Backing out now would leave too many questions unanswered. The backup drone, named Echo, wasn't strong like Hermes. It couldn't enter the ship, but it could hover near the entrance. As it approached, the strange metal surface of the alien craft came into full view again. Then something new happened. A light on the hull blinked once, twice, then it formed a pattern. Is that Morse code? Nika asked, typing fast. She translated. The blinking pattern. We see you. Lena's skin went cold. The ship was watching them. Alive. AI-controlled. Something else entirely? Before anyone could react, the camera feed turned white. A blinding flash filled the screen. Everyone shielded their eyes. Then the feed returned, but Echo was no longer near the ship. It had moved. The team checked the coordinates. Somehow, in a split second, the drone had been shifted, physically moved several hundred meters back. The ship's door was now closed. They pushed us away, Kim said. No, Lena replied. They warned us. Back on the surface. The team gathered to review data. The original footage from Hermes, the voice transmission, the blinking light, and now the forced movement of Echo. None of it made sense. No known technology could explain this, and yet there was more. Annika looked pale. I just ran a comparison scan. The symbols on the ship. We've seen them before. Everyone turned. Where? Lena asked. In the archives. A crashed satellite picked up similar symbols in 1998, deep in the Arctic. It was classified, but the data leaked years later. No one could figure it out, till now. The same symbols. This wasn't the first time. Suddenly, this wasn't just a deep-sea discovery. It It was part of something much bigger. A secret humanity had touched before. Maybe more than once. Lena leaned against the console. Wait, we need to. Go down. What? Kim said. You mean a manned mission? That's suicide. The pressure. We've got the Triton pod. It's rated for extreme depth, Lena said. And this might be our only chance. That ship is alive, and it's watching us. It could leave. Or worse. Or it could kill us, Lena looked at the screen where the silver ship still sat, quiet and still. Or it could tell us everything. 2 days later, the manned submersible Triton 7X was prepped. Small, cramped, and built for 2 people, it was humanity's deepest diving vessel. Lena would pilot it. Dr. Kim would go with her. As they began their descent, the pressure creaked around them like a giant squeezing a soda can. But the pod held firm. The lights outside showed only blackness. After 4 hours, they reached the ocean floor, and the ship hadn't moved. The door was still closed. But as the Triton hovered near it, Lena noticed something. Her console lights blinked. Then the ship's lights blinked back,
Us.
mimicking her. It's communicating again,
Us.
Kim whispered. Then a panel on the alien ship slid open. Inside, a docking port. A tunnel extended toward them, connecting smoothly to their pod. No sound, no movement, just an invitation. Lena took a deep breath. We go in? Are you crazy? No, just tired of wondering. The pod auto-locked with the alien tunnel. Pressure equalized. A green light blinked on. They stepped into the ship. The floor was soft but stable. Lights glowed along the walls, the air breathable. How? They didn't know. But sensors confirmed it. Inside, the ship was quiet. Too quiet. Then came the voice. Welcome. It echoed from everywhere, yet nowhere. Smooth, calm, familiar. We don't mean harm, Lena said. Who are you? The voice answered slowly. I am what remains, Kim whispered. AI. Or something worse, Lena replied. They entered the central chamber. The pod from the previous drone footage was there. But now it was empty. The alien body was gone. The stasis glass lay shattered on the floor then. In the corner they saw it, the figure tall, thin, pale blue-gray skin. No eyes, just smooth skin. Over where eyes should be, stood motionless, arms at its sides. And then it spoke in perfect English. You opened the door. Now it cannot be closed. Back on the surface, Annika was monitoring the pod's signal. Suddenly a second signal appeared on the sonar, fast-moving, rising from the deep. Not human, not friendly. Multiple signals followed. Something
Else.
was waking up. Not just the ship, but whatever was buried with it. Dr. Lena Hart stood face to face with something not of this world. The creature was still, silent, an alien beyond description. No eyes, no mouth. Yet it had spoken. Not just spoken, it had warned them. You opened the door. It cannot be closed. She kept her voice calm. Who are you? The being tilted its head, as if studying her. Its skin shimmered faintly in the dim blue light. I am a memory, it said. A prisoner of time? A witness of war? Dr. Kim stepped forward slowly. Did your people crash here? There was no crash, the being replied. We were hidden, buried, sealed away by your kind. Lena froze.
What do you mean?
Our kind? Humans? The lights in the ship dimmed. The walls hummed. Then a projection appeared in the air, a glowing, moving image, like a 3D hologram. It showed Earth, but not as they knew it. No cities, no satellites, just endless forest. An ocean, then the sky tore open. Hundreds of alien ships entered Earth's atmosphere in the vision. Some burned, some landed gently. And others fought. What is this? Kim asked. The being answered, long ago, before your time, Earth was not yours alone. My kind came here, running from something far worse. But you, humans, betrayed us. The hologram changed. It showed early humans, primitive, tribal. But behind them stood a second group, armored, glowing with strange power. They used weapons not made by hands, energy pulled from the stars. They fought the aliens, killed them, and buried the rest beneath the sea. Lena shook her head. That's not possible. We've never had that kind of power. Lost it, the alien replied. Or someone took it from you. Kim whispered, what if this ship wasn't just buried, but locked away, like a prison? The being nodded once. And now you have opened the gate. Suddenly, alarms flashed on Lena's wrist console. She looked down. Surface team just sent an emergency signal. Multiple contacts rising from the trench. Fast. Kim's eyes widened. Rising. From the ocean. Lena activated the pod's comms. Annika, come in. What's happening up there? Annika's voice came back crackling, panicked. They're not ships, they're creatures. Hundreds, they're coming from the deep. Signal was lost. Lena turned back to the alien. What are they? It looked down slowly. The guards, the jailers, they are not machines. They are alive, and they know I am free. What do they want? To finish what they started? On the surface, the Neptune's eyes shook as the water churned around it. The sea wasn't calm anymore. It boiled like something massive was rising beneath. Annika grabbed onto the console. Emergency dive team. Get everyone inside now. But it was too late. From the waves, massive figures emerged, biomechanical monsters with tentacles of metal and bone. Their eyes glowed red. They didn't speak. They didn't hesitate. They attacked. One of the smaller research ships was torn in half. Another was dragged beneath the water in seconds. Screams filled the comms. Chaos reigned above. Annika screamed into the mic. Lena, they're here. The ocean's turning into a war zone. Back inside the alien ship, the being turned toward. Lena, you must decide. Run, ... or fight. Lena clenched her fists. Fight. With what? The alien stepped forward. This ship is not just a prison, it is a weapon. What kind of weapon? One that needs a pilot. Kim laughed nervously. You mean like you want us to fly it? The alien pointed to the center of the chamber where a large platform began to rise from the floor. It pulsed with a strange glow. Seats in control? Nodes extended from its surface. Your kind once controlled ships like this. Your mind still remembers. Somewhere. Lena looked at Kim. He nodded. She stepped onto the platform. What? Scanned her. A soft hum filled the air. The ship responded. Panels lit up. Energy surged through the walls. Outside, the sea began to vibrate. The alien ship hadn't moved in thousands of years until now. It came to life. From the ocean floor, giant anchors. Detached, the mud that had buried it peeled away like dust. The ship slowly, powerfully rose upward. Slicing through the dark waters, Kim stared in awe. We're flying a damn alien warship. Lena grinned. No, we're taking it back. Above. The battle was getting worse. Dozens of sea beasts tore through ships and equipment. Human weapons barely made a dent. The creatures were made to hunt, to destroy, to cleanse. Then the ocean exploded with light. A beam shot upward from the deep, a blinding blue lance of energy that tore through the sky like a sword. The clouds split. The sea shook. And then, through the storm, it rose the alien ship. But now it looked different. Transformed. Awake. Its sides unfolded like wings. Energy shields pulsed along its hull. The symbols on its skin glowed with fire. And at its center stood Lena, eyes fixed, hands on the control nodes. The creatures turned to face it. The ship responded instantly. Weapons formed from its sides, not missiles or guns, but beams of pure force, bending light and pressure into focused blasts. The first creature was hit mid-roar and vanished in a flash of blue fire. The others charged. The battle for the surface had begun. The ocean exploded with energy. The ancient alien ship, now fully awakened, hovered just beneath the waves. Its hull shimmered with light. The glow from its weapons burned through the dark water like underwater lightning. Lena stood at the command platform, her hands resting on glowing controls that moved like living metal beneath her fingers. Symbols danced in the air around her, alien at first, then slowly transforming into English, as if the ship was learning her thoughts. Kim watched in awe, like it's responding to you, like it knows you. Lena didn't look away from the display. It's not just a ship. It's alive, or part of something alive. Outside, the monstrous creatures, the biomechanical jailers, closed in. They swam like sharks but moved with terrifying precision. Long metal limbs snapped open, revealing weapons, spines, and rotating drills. They weren't protecting the ocean, they were hunting. Weapons online, the ship said in a deep, genderless voice. Lena gripped the controls. Fire. The ships. Front panels peeled open like flower petals. From inside, a burst of blue energy shot forward, hitting one of the closest creatures dead center. The thing exploded in a silent wave of light and shredded metal. Kim leaned forward. That's not a cannon. That's something else. It's rewriting the laws of physics down here. Good, Lena said. Because these things won't go down easy. More of the jailers came, swimming in formation now, not like animals, but like soldiers, intelligent, coordinated. To flank the ship, one shot a blast of red-hot energy toward the hull. The ship trembled. Shields at 87%, said the voice. Kim jumped. It talks now. It's adapting to us, Lena said. Like it remembers working with humans before. The ship fired. Again, not just forward, but in all directions. Beams spun out like underwater lightning storms, vaporizing to more attackers. But more kept coming. They're not trying to destroy us, Kim said. They're trying to stop us. From doing what? Lena asked. From remembering, the alien voice answered. Lena froze. You're still here? I am part of the ship. My memory lives in its walls. Your kind buried us here long ago. Kim looked at Lena. How long ago are we talking? Before your history, before your language. Impossible. Everything impossible is simply forgotten truth. Back on the surface, the Neptune's eye shook violently. Annika and the surviving crew watched the water churn, glowing blue and red with distant explosions. The sea looked like it was boiling. Contact, someone yelled. Incoming, two of them. The creature burst from the waves, a towering beast of twisted metal and sea flesh. It crashed into the water beside the ship, dragging a sonar tower down with it. Alarms blared. Annika held onto the rail. Where's Lena? Where's that ship? Suddenly a glow appeared beneath the waves. Something massive. Rising. The alien warship breached the surface with force, sending water spraying in all directions. It hovered just meters above the ocean, its sleek body humming with raw energy. Then, a blast of light cut through the air, slicing the sea creature in half. The other attackers paused, just for a second. Then they attacked together. Inside the ship, Lena gritted her teeth. We're surrounded. Give me options. Plasma beam recharge. 32 seconds, the voice replied. But I have unlocked something else, something older. Show me. A panel lit up. A new weapon appeared on the controls. No name, just a symbol. A circle surrounded by lines, like a sun with rays. What is it? Kim asked. Lena touched. The symbol, the ship responded instantly. The ocean around them twisted. The water vibrated. A wave of invisible force exploded outward. No light, no sound. Just raw, crushing pressure. Every creature within a kilometer was thrown back. Some exploded. Others went limp and sank. The sea turned red with drifting pieces of armor and bone. Kim's eyes widened. You just collapsed the water around them. Like a deep-sea implosion. Lena breathed hard. And we're just getting started. The ship hovered silently after the blast. The creatures were gone for now. Why were they guarding you? Lena asked. Because I remember the truth, the voice said, and they were made to erase it. Kim frowned. The truth about what? The lights dimmed. Another projection lit up around them. This time it showed humans, but not modern ones, ancient, powerful, wearing glowing armor and strange suits. They stood beside ships just like this one. They walked with the alien species. They fought together until they didn't. Humans once traveled the stars, the voice said. They were warriors, explorers, creators. But they feared what they had built. So they destroyed the records. They buried their allies. They erased the past. They erased you, Lena whispered. The image shifted again, this time to a battlefield in space. Human ships fired on alien ones. Whole worlds burned. We were betrayed, the voice said, but not by all. Some humans tried to protect us. They hid ships like this one, buried them in the sea, hoping one day someone would find the truth. Kim stepped back. So we're not Earth's first civilization. You are the survivors, the descendants. But your blood still remembers. Lena felt a strange energy building in her chest. A connection. The ship. The voice. The memories. She didn't understand how, but she could feel them, like old scars waking up. More are coming, the voice warned. Now that the ship is active, they will never stop, not until I am destroyed. We're not letting that happen, Lena said. We'll protect you. No, the voice replied. You must protect the Earth. I am only a key. There are more like me where. The ship showed a map of the Earth, but with strange symbols glowing in remote places. One deep in the Amazon, one beneath Antarctica, one floating in orbit. All connected, the voice said. All hidden, until now. Kim stepped forward. If they wake up, what happens? Then humanity will remember what it truly is. But far below, deeper than even this ship had gone, something stirred. A giant. Older than the ship. Older than war. It opened its eyes and began to rise. The sea was still again. For a moment, it felt like peace. The alien warship hovered above the surface, its body glowing softly in the fading light. Below it, the ocean was quiet. The last wave of biomechanical jailers had been destroyed. The human survivors on the Neptune's Eye watched in stunned silence, their ship barely holding together. Inside the alien vessel, Dr. Lena Hart sat motionless. Her hands hovered over the controls. Sweat beaded on her forehead. Her heart was pounding. They had survived the first attack, but only just. Status report, she said quietly. The ship's voice answered, calm and emotionless. Energy reserves at 67%. Shield systems stabilizing. Weapon systems recharging. Kim sat beside her, scrolling through the data feed. That last blast we used, the pressure collapse weapon, it drained more than half the core. We needed it, Lena said. Those things would have torn the ship apart. We still don't know what they are. The ship's voice chimed in. They were made to contain what was hidden. Now that the seal is broken, they will return in greater numbers. Lena leaned forward. You said you were one of many. Other ships. Other keys. Where are they now? The glowing map reappeared in front of her, a projection of Earth, marked with ancient coordinates. Remote, dangerous places. Places humans rarely visited. One was beneath the Antarctic ice, another deep in the Amazon. Rainforest. A third in Earth's orbit. A satellite tomb, long forgotten and inactive. Lena pointed to the Antarctic mark. Can we reach that one? Yes, the voice said. But something stirs below. Something that does not sleep. Lena frowned. Something else? It. Kim looked at the energy scan on his display. Lena, we've got movement. Deep movement. Something huge. How deep? Deeper than this. Ship started, near the ocean mantle. What? Lena stared at the readings. The ocean floor was vibrating. Tectonic plates shifted, and then came the sound. A low hum, like a deep ancient growl. It didn't come from the speakers. It came through the ship. Through the water. Through the earth. What is that? She whispered. The ship answered slowly. A guardian. Far below. Deeper than any human had ever gone. Something awoke. It had once been a weapon, built by the ancient humans. When they ruled the stars, forged to guard secrets no one was meant to find. Its body was made of living stone and cosmic metal. Its heart was powered by a star fragment. It did not think, he remembered. The seal had been broken, and its purpose returned. It began to rise, back on the surface. Annika stared at the sonar screen. This can't be real. The signal on her display was massive. Bigger than any submarine, bigger than a ship. It covered the entire bottom of the screen. Whatever it was moving straight up. Fast, double quotes Lena. She said into the comms, "You've got something coming. Bigger than before? And I don't think it's here to talk?" Inside the alien vessel, Lena heard it too. The ship's voice echoed calmly. Guardian-class construct. Active. Age. 40,000 Earth years. Threat level. Kim stared at the data. Threat level. Absolute. That's not even a scale. The water began to glow red. Beneath them, something massive was rising from the deep, and then it breached. A massive head broke through the surface, like a mountain erupting. From the sea, its eyes glowed with red fire. Skin was a blend of obsidian and alien alloys. Huge arms, each the size of a city block. Lifted from the ocean, the water surged outward in a shockwave that capsized to nearby vessels instantly. The creature looked at the alien warship and roared, not a sound of anger, but of recognition. The ship responded with a deep of its own. Guardian has locked target, evade or engage. Lena didn't answer immediately. She watched as the giant raised its hand. Energy pulsed along its arms. Evasion won't work, she said. Confirmed, the voice replied. Then we fight. The alien ship rose higher into the air, powered by gravitic thrusters that twisted the laws of physics. Lena gripped the control rings. Symbols danced across the console. She could feel the ship adjusting to her emotions, reading her intent. The Guardian roared again and fired. A massive beam of red plasma shot upward. The ship spun midair, narrowly dodging the blast. The water behind them boiled into steam. The air cracked with pressure. Lena swung the ship around, turned fire. Twin beams of blue energy lanced out, slamming into the Guardian's chest. The explosion lit up the sea like daylight. But when the light faded, the Guardian was still standing, barely scratched. Kim's hands flew across his screen. Its outer shell is regenerating. Some kind of adaptive armor. Lena gritted her teeth. We need more power. There's one option, the ship said. A forgotten weapon. Buried deep. Use it, Lena ordered. Warning, the voice said. Power source, unstable. Ship damage likely. Lena looked at Kim. We don't have a choice. Do it. From beneath the ship, a new weapon. Emerged a large crystalline core spinning rapidly. It pulled energy directly from the planet's magnetic field. Glowing brighter than the sun, the ship charged forward. Straight at the Guardian, the beast raised its arms to slow. The alien ship smashed into its chest, driving the core directly into the Guardian's heart. There was no explosion, just light. Blinding white light that swallowed the ocean and sky, silence. Then the Guardian fell. Back into the sea, gone, the ship hovered. Damaged but alive. Lena slumped in her seat, breathing hard. Status. Guardian neutralized, the voice said. Structural integrity, 46%. Core unstable. Repairs required. Kim sighed. That was insane. But it worked, Lena said. They sat in silence for a long moment, then the ship spoke again. Other Guardians are waking. Kim looked at Lena. This was just one. Lena stood, and we find the others. We stop this before it becomes a war. The ship turned south toward Antarctica, toward the next secret buried beneath Earth's skin. Snowstorms howled across the frozen plains of Antarctica. Winds ripped at over 120 kilometers per hour. Visibility dropped to near zero. But high above the storm, hidden behind a cloud cover that most satellites avoided, the ancient alien warship hovered quietly, damaged, but functional. Inside, Lena stood at the edge of the control platform, staring at the projected map. Below them was the next location, a dark dot buried beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. "A second ship," she whispered. "Another key." Kim studied the scans. "It's deeper than the last one, almost 2 kilometers under solid ice." "Can't drill through that," the ship's voice replied. "You won't need to. The beacon is active. The ice will move for us." True enough, the ground below began to vibrate. As if sensing the ancient vessel above, the ice sheet cracked, splitting down the middle. Steam rose from the break, though no heat was present. Something was alive down there, something powerful. "This feels like a trap," Kim muttered. "Everything about this feels like a trap," Lena replied. "But we're still going." As the ship lowered into the crevice, they passed layer after layer of ancient ice. Preserved fossils, frozen water, even old research bases sealed long ago in snow. Then they saw it. The second ship. Larger than the first, sleeker. Its design was almost insect-like, with curved armor and glowing veins across its surface. But this one wasn't asleep. It was awake. It knew they were coming, and it wasn't alone. Suddenly, ship jolted. "Brace," Lena shouted. Below them, giant limbs shot out of the ice, long spiked arms made of bone and metal. Another Guardian had been waiting here, guarding the second vessel, but this one looked different. Larger, smarter, and older. Kim's screen flashed red. "It's already scanning us. It knows we're in the air." Lena pulled the controls hard to the left as a beam of icy energy shot upward, barely missing them. The blast struck a nearby mountain and shattered it in seconds. "That's not plasma," Lena muttered. "That's something colder than death." "The ship's voice answered. "Phase-cold matter, designed to break molecular bonds. A death ray." The Guardian leaped from the ice, grabbing onto a nearby cliff and launching itself straight toward them. Lena responded with 2 quick pulses from the ship's plasma cannons, striking the Guardian in the side. But instead of collapsing, the thing split apart like smoke and reformed midair. Kim's eyes widened. "It's adapting, like it was waiting for this fight." "Correct," the ship confirmed. "This Guardian is not simply a protector. It is a sentinel, an observer, a judge." Down below, second ship responded. It sent a pulse, not at them, but toward the Guardian. The pulse struck the sentinel mid-flight, throwing it back across the snow. The ice cracked beneath it as it slammed into the earth. Lena blinked. "Did that ship just help us?" perhaps the ship replied. "Or perhaps it seeks your attention." The second ship opened. Unlike the first, it did not wait to be approached. Its docking platform extended outward like an invitation or a challenge. Lena looked at Kim. "Let's go." They docked beside the second ship, landing the damaged warship next to it. The airlock hissed as they entered. Inside, it was completely different. The walls were black, smooth, and mirror-like. Instead of soft blue lights, there were deep red pulses. And the temperature was low, below freezing. But still breathable, they stepped inside. Something moved. Not fast, just a presence, a shadow behind a wall. It didn't attack. It watched. Then a voice echoed, not like the first ship, but deeper. Rough, a voice that had aged. "You have returned. Children of fire." Lena stepped forward. "You know us? I knew what you were, before you forgot, before you fell." A figure stepped from the shadows. It looked human, but it wasn't. Its skin was pale gray, its eyes glowing orange. Its body was tall and thin, armored in something that shimmered like frost. It walked slowly, each step deliberate. Kim whispered, "That's not an AI. That's a living being." The creature stopped a few feet away. "You awakened the first. Key. Now the second answers. But the Guardians, they are not asleep. They remember your crimes." Lena raised an eyebrow. "We don't even know what those crimes are." The figure stepped closer. "We will. But first, the war must be finished." "Which war?" The last one your ancestors started. One they could not win. The one they chose to forget. Back outside, the Sentinel Guardian rose again. Damaged, but not destroyed. Let out a low, echoing roar that shook the entire ice valley. Its core glowed and it raised its arms high. It was calling others. Kim saw the energy surge on his display. Lena, it's signaling. More of them are coming. The second ship responded instantly. It released a wave of power, a barrier of pure heat that melted the snow in a radius around it. And then it opened further, revealing a second control. Platform, the figure turned to Lena. This ship must be flown. But it cannot fly alone. Lena narrowed her eyes. You want me to pilot it? No, the being said. You must bond with it. The second ship was different. It didn't just respond to her touch. It pushed back. It tested her. The controls were alive, like tendrils wrapping around her arms, reading her thoughts, her fears, her intentions. Pain shot through her skull. Visions flashed in her mind. Wars in space, burning cities, strange weapons, ancient humans walking among stars, and then a single memory, a human face, a woman, strong, commanding. With Lena's eyes, she looks like me, Lena whispered. The ship replied in her mind. She was you, before you were reborn. You were her echo. Suddenly the pain stopped. The ship accepted her. Energy surged. The second vessel lifted from the ice, its wings unfolding. It rose into the storm, glowing with power. 2 ships, 1 sky, and more enemies on the way, from deep below the ice. The third Guardian stirred. This one had no shape, only mass. Was older than all the others, sleeper beneath Earth's cold heart. It felt the presence of 2 ships, 2 pilots, 2 echoes of a war, thought long dead. It began to rise. The sky above Antarctica split open. 1 ship hovered. Scorched and scarred, the first alien vessel awakened beneath the ocean. The second, newly risen from beneath the ice, glowed with fresh energy, its hull alive and pulsing, rising below. Them was the final Guardian. It had no form, just a storm of dark mass and red light, swirling like a living hurricane made of metal ash. An ancient hatred. Lena stood inside the new ship's control chamber, breath steady, hands glowing. With the ship's energy, the vessel had accepted her fully, not just as a pilot, but as something else, a carrier of memory, a continuation of something older. Kim, she said over the comms. How many more are coming? Kim, still aboard the first ship, answered. I don't think they're coming. I think this thing was calling to them. Across space, Lena's eyes narrowed. Then we stop it before the rest arrive. The 2 ships lifted into the air side by side. The Antarctic storm swirled above them, reacting to the final Guardian's awakening. Red lightning danced through the clouds. The magnetic field of the region went wild. Satellites blinked offline. The world began to notice something was wrong. The Guardian lashed out first, not with weapons, but with memory. Both ships jolted as waves of ancient thought, pain, and warning slammed into them. Visions poured into Lena's mind. A great war. In orbit above Earth, ancient humans in armor made of light. Alien races kneeling, not out of fear, but respect. And then, betrayal. 1 ship, 1 weapon, 1 secret buried on Earth to ensure it would never happen again. Lena fell to her knees inside the control chamber, gripping her head. The ship whispered in her mind, You are not supposed to remember. But the Earth did. Kim, watching from above, saw the final Guardian begin to rise higher. It's taking form. Now it had legs, arms, a head shaped like a skull made from obsidian. It looked almost human, but twisted. Wrong a warning, a mirror, Kim gasped. Think. It's based on us. The ship's AI responded. Not based on, made from. The final Guardian was constructed from the DNA of the last human general, the one who tried to erase the others. Lena heard it too. It's me, she said. Her. Voice flat, or who I was before. The Guardian opened its arms. Energy surged from its core. Not to attack, but to rewrite. The sky shimmered. The clouds began to flicker like static. Reality around them bent. The storm wasn't just weather, it was memory, trying to reshape the world into the past. Kim shouted, "It's going to reset the planet, like it's bringing the old war back into reality." Lena stood up. "No." She reached forward and her ship responded. Wings extended. Cannons deployed. A pulse of pure white energy blasted from the ship, cutting through the storm, striking the Guardian in the chest. But it didn't fall. It laughed. A low, broken sound like metal grinding. It answered with a wave of its own, slamming both ships. Out of the sky, Lena's ship crashed into the snow. Kim's hovered, barely staying afloat. Lena coughed, sparks flying around her. "Still here?" The ship spoke in her mind. "You cannot kill the Guardian, but you can bind it." "How?" "With memory. With the truth it tried to bury." The second ship began to change. Its walls retracted. Panels opened. Central core appeared. Not a weapon, but a beacon. Memory projector. Lena placed her hand on it. Images flooded the sky. Ancient Earth. Starships. The human empire that once ruled dozens of systems. That war against the Guardians, machines built to protect, but who turned against humanity when they refused to stop evolving. And finally, the last human general, the woman who sacrificed everything to end it, she looked like Lena. She was Lena. Same eyes. The same voice. The world watched through satellites and cameras as the sky filled with truth. The Guardian froze. Its red light flickered. Its body trembled. Saw the memory. It remembered. It lowered its arms. And then it spoke. "I was created to stop you. I was wrong." Lena stepped forward through the wreckage, her ship hovering behind her. She faced the towering creature. "You were made to protect us," she said. "But we're not who we were. The past is over." The Guardian looked at her for a long time. Then, slowly it knelt. Its mass unraveled. Its light dimmed. It turned to ash. It was gone. Silence fell. The storms vanished. The sky cleared. 2 ships floated above Antarctica. The Earth, shaken but intact, stared up at them through satellites and live streams. Kim joined Lena on the platform of the second ship. "So what now?" he asked. Lena looked at the horizon. "We make sure this story is never forgotten again." In orbit, something stirred. A deep signal bounced through the void. The memory Lena had released traveled far beyond Earth, beyond the solar system, and somewhere light years away, other ships turned, not in anger, but in recognition. They remembered Earth, and they remembered her back on the surface. Governments scrambled. Scientists debated. News anchors panicked. But ordinary people looked up and saw 2 ships in the sky. One scarred, one shining. Both human.